on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate Bodo Glimt UEFA Champions League run this season on a scale of 1 to 10? Say, Anna Berry a Bodo Fono live on YouTube. Wontumi TV live ana TV and Jumo also.
Yeah, Kwasi Platini so far they are my best team of this season. I know Diabo rating 10 over 10. Kwasi Platini a message and no Nana cast is 8.5 and what day my woman and no dene what day abanana anane kunsuko jo krom say obe rating 10 over 10 and no a message or Diaba citizen Omario send 9 over 10 and what demo inti justice so rating 7 and no inti messenger one and so de Abarehaza Junior as or momo 8 over 10 and no and so Rehaza Junior messenger one and so de Abenano pay I don some de Emma Sesepa into way I Ghana for woman doing Chenibi and ya dem Emma Nano pay kwaku Promzi as 10 over 10 and what de Emma Michael Jemfi say 10 over 10 and a Michael and so de Emma and ano pay when so Ernesto also appear J or say 10 out of 10 and on also a rating ne anopi
wanga samo mo saying
o memo 8 over 10.
Okay. Because all moon shed and baby results no man and quantity or more Matthias here. Well, Madam says Supremo, yes. Yababa Quamon on the still live on Wontumi TV, digital satellite, and so on a pen. I'm on say, don't Palago, YouTube or say, over 2.5 over 10, and a Jean Dino so Emma Bodo 10 over 10. A face Zion Ultra say I 5 over 10. On YouTube and away and some broad drum bagel, you know, and so say 11 over 10. I just want to call him I don't mind na Kobe Kobe Taught Trends and so say my Bodo Fono 10 over 10 and no I said on every tea a Bodo and away a peace man and I for so say or the free dance man and a bow no and my Bodo Fono 8 over 10 and no and some I don't know now my man for bread to a coach in the mouth real quick and sana ya call amanone and so abana 62 hours any and one saying things baby in one 100
yes, 100 and the car yeah top and say
and I live a cruising for no hard dream pow
hard dream
and you say
just any be winning
oh can be also BW3F 758 DD1 and here's 62 hours and a BW3F 755 F17 and here 30 hours BW3F 757 FC5 and here 16 hours and a BW3F 753 B40 and here 10 O's BW3F 758 769 I know I have 5 O's. See, Sharak picture na medema no monya no quick mama na afi yenko amanone emra won se medical kan last week ne senya me almochna na me nipa no dogu machine and flower in a baso yes na enro mo kokoye efiedie no
okay
ewo aye wasasra ho nyame ya almochna enso ewo na chemi hotel ana chese omo bana I know your reception no and to dogu machine and the wife enso enie nyame Shamo Junior no man your man fine enso ema we no Samuel Nkrumah dogu machine Elizabeth Amafusu said him say dogu machine Mrs. Enono nyame ya no tena e wona chemi hotel fe kra keke ma wo hwe so mo si a share ne mo basa ko tena efiada bia ganza yeti antom real quick pa ti nyame Shamo Junior no so na omane o man so enya fine so na medical can he will find a woman no and as a wife no na say wonya de papa nti nyame ya no tena na chemi hotel na I'm say rare reception and no Ghana omoya no worship supreme
nice one
ti da be ne entwa wo dia no na
kwama no ne amba enche minsuru
okay enche ne da be Oh, and I remember kitchen from source near to Munyabutre. So we be any be out. And I be able to Vanto. And then you Munyabutre. And I'm just so fashion, my will be out on Vanto. But on one of them, and I'm seeing keeping a straw. I'm boys in Well, you're coming on your back. Live on Facebook, live on YouTube, rather. Wontumi TV Live. Wontumi TV Live on YouTube. And I say, TV no digital on the satellite. Tuma, Auntie, and I pay young queen now 101.3. So we all say, and important so your life. I was so Wontumi no, NCBA, radio no, ebe benya bako krasani ya faswa mamo. Ti muntami chuku na monche na. Monfanche voice no de me brepa but muhudunti. See a banner, Yabama
news. 101.3.
Yamin stories in here, much voice in it. Mumum fan cheme me bread, but all the same, I was some force.
Very fine.
Oh, yeah, inshallah. Young Cromon and Ray, young Quaba.
Angwa Juma no you Yami Wohoda Se Uji Dudia Obeya Juma such Renia no you Yami Wohoda Se Uji Dudia Obeya Juma Ye Bompaye Shamachi Shra Yehuwa Ila Henu Yehuwa Ekat We Ahata Et Yehuwa Elohika Bika Uvika Naveshika Uvika Miyodika Tode Yashak in English in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Shut up, come on, boy, Kapo. Sorry, Kapo chairman. I feel like chairman. Yes. You got time tabo kukasamu. Some messages and benyo biase. Hey, oh chairman, ya dear pass. Say what me assemble. I just quite be coming home. Hene papa me. So I want to show now. When I'm saying why UEFA Champions League matches now, when we pull you, Emma will be on swing himself, say no pay. Yabana, you're the update. Tabasano, I'll let you come out to that side. When one let me again, qualification, and Ramomuchumadiano, and also I run of 16 and also Mabacoso, and what your liver cruise and our Bramano Casino, woman some let me qualify Enra, and also Benga Bodo Glimt, Wamuchumadio Martin, and yes, we are some Fanano, and Camilla is a more now so poor. I am Bodo Glimt, and so Abasune Biamno, and some Newcastle, say, Wabu Cobas Enra, woman some teams Amakuma for Omo, and some gaining qualification, and some Maria could next stage now, and I run of 16 in Mamma Fonto, when I'm so be a amount, I chess and I 11 million euros, and I amount, and your club will be answered because Amra, Bodo, I cite, I'm qualify, woman, I record 11 million euros, and I amount a teamer, your friends are Bodo Fono, woman, some other to me, and Ebiano, Leverkusen, and some not qualify Amra, woman, some additional 11 million euros, and your so much so, and I 11 million, and so and your man let to come Madrid and Sana. I had a sad amount, and also I 11 million euros, and also Abako and Yama, Newcastle United, and some I update Peno, and also Abana Sana pay. Now, Madame Sadia be a drono, and no Babasia Quantamani at Tenino. When somebody tell you to him, say, I let you come Madrid, and some qualify Enra. Now, Yamia do my Friday, and I just a draw so Friday, no, at your lunch time, and I'm a draw, and also Abacos. I say, I let you go about draw, I your Tottenham Hotspur, and I say, I let you go about draw, I your Liverpool team, and I know, I said, and also I draw the Baswa, and also Mabasiako, and what you Bobokua, your friends are no, and some Newcastle, no, why that's almost about draw FC Barcelona, and I said Newcastle, I team, almost some Swansea, our the next round in the more, and also I run of 16, Ebiamno, your Leverkusen, I team, I just sell Leverkusen for no, woman come here, some Omutanya, because you're okay, woman, arguably the two best teams are, woman, our Europe, and some Tabako, and the Bessia, Sir Leverkusen Timino, woman, Bamunchi, Yamian Motina, and as a Friday now, woman, some other draw Arsenal, and it's a wo support Liverpool na yebisa se club ban ana nka wo nya wasanka bia team wei ensom anya no na waba eguso yeru san komana no wonum so wo baako a ye fam sa Simon Roffels ono ana chesam ayo sporting director ensom Adama Liverpool team no na wo no mu busa no so pani se dia wo biarum se bia abuje ebesi akọ ma qualify na anya ba mu ntina mo benyam Arsenal emu hoi ana chesam nya nkamopa ana wo so say ye want to just say ya wo say ball be the same team from one kromo ya na enshera anya de ya bo group face na no ya na ya be come ya run of 16 wo say ba Liverpool ne ya ba mu ntin enko shada bi anonom ya na enshera anya de na ono anka so na koma mu padi obenya na nka Liverpool and Arsenal wo mu yenu som enko shada tintia wono som aka na sa nyina no ensom arsenal wo mu awo kai Havertz onom a former player ensom Adama Liverpool team no wo mu sa wa kotana ye faru se Piero Hencampie nanu ya no wo mu tompo no ensom Adama Arsenal ntina se koba so mo draw Arsenal ensom awana 16 mu a akanani abeje pa dancer wo mu som abedraw ba mu ntina enom aya smo we faru se aye Simon Roffels ono ensom ayo tutwa wa brano pe no ye de amtetena ensom ataba na Atlético foro wonum se nam aida se aye Liverpool anase aye Spurs ana omoba draw na goalkeeper no else ayobia ye fanu sa Jean Oblak na Jean Oblak ana way goalkeeper na Oblak kan wo say ye want to twa so mo de baby o maba bedru no omunfuro bia o according to Jean Oblak ko say ye Tottenham Hotspur say ye Liverpool ana Atlético foi ensom betimi anya omo awo run of 16 mo no wo sem omunfuro bia baby o madru no wo munsom betimi a show bia na de o kan nyina no say akoba say bia born Atlético fo bono say omunya maximum level na bi Atlético for no manyina so kokema ensom arma team na team ban ana chese bia asase so wo betumi akasa wo de Atlético aye team a wo mutumi fo tiko enka from wo musom na betumi asho bia ma wo musense no ensom aye commentary aka no nyina no say wo musom tembo mo bonu nyina no ensom na be peja no aye asoma chese goalkeeper ensom aye tutwa na captain aye Koke essay enwa game no am say from staff de na emu yo mo star B kakra but according to captain no was say amaba second half no and you man some asisai ama chesa madumo mo bono second half no na no some aye come pa na second half from start to finish and omunya 3 goals and some other so and nam so ama chesa man kasa wo mo strike Alexander Soloff ono and so Bobby Akanwa wo munya hat-trick and some our sama chenemo and according to Koke no one of the other so chess and you know so kokema and some other team no I want for Tosumi no now manager Diego Simeone when you say Mano Casa Simeone you'll be say and one and quite no bomb in our basso I just will be a Juma apart from Serbia Robert Julian Alvarez ano pay now make us a Jubabina woman Casam I'm supporter Sebimo and some born tutu and some Alvarez Ayobia will Zubono rough Archesana now I'm some the dinner some Emma no what was a manager no say wo bon korano nyina so basona sante no aye no macro taisi Serbia we play our form no and some betimi atia kona for later what some be discover aye form and some aniate na omo we game omo ko dressing room na ye hu say manager na bam akwata na ye fam sa Ademola Lookman no ana Diego Simeone say Lookman aba so said ye one possible game and said ya motompa akura no som abai no was a deba kopa anama Lookman no one antimian start match dintia ama Ademola and start game enwa and say was start Alexander Soloff into chesa way chesa strikers and I say attackers and you poba kopa and some and start will be to me start to be to me bo entiano anama Lookman enwa one starting game ampa Soloff no so man starting match na one hat-trick asante man of the match award enwa ama chesa no aye kakra fina so ya at bawa our brother no yare update tan dia kan nyina no ensom ama yetofo ana ensom awo shoro so na yare so club obi akana asam no ensom aye Bodo Glimt na Bodo ensom aye tima obi an mo record urumsa no pay wo record amete baya na make a choice wo ma she mansiri Atlético wo ma she Inter home na we ni adene nyina no urumsa record no ensom on say and wo mo nkwa no mababa the first team outside Europe and I had the big 5 leagues at the Ayaka. Also, I can see major European League artists. I know England, near about Italy, near about Germany, near about France, near about Spain. I'm with a team back home. Can cry outside. I had just a team. And some our big major. I had just a European countries. No more. And I said, "Be leagues no more." One to me, I saw I can say for no. And some because Atlético, our major league no more. I had some Man City and some our mainstream Europe in Milan and some our mainstream Europe. Our banner. Woman in 4 matches. I had one and somebody at was a Bodo and Ababa Sarah Quadana. Yet among some and some at the Amoria Germany. Now young co Amoloka Rume. Never said almost celebrity because Emra and some our Sansiro Guchape Miyazano. Now just M's atmosphere and some come upon tea. Yabati young Komo Kakari Deta and on across our border for Wamoloka room our Branwa. Wamusili qualification our Sansiro. One coach, your fellow Jetil cannot send na Jetil. I cannot send. Oh no, I will say you want to Casara or say or you're proud of the boys. Now, Kodano, Omaya Juma Power be him say since last year November, woman said I'm on comparative league because league, you know, woman no more breaking our Norway Omari. Now, I'm the friendly matches and Ebian Kodano Bakum Yeribina, woman Bona for Champions League, you know, woman Boadia Shamba Bona Kodano Bono, Bibi on Manchester be a Bodo Ayasaita, woman so more comparative league, I want Mukumo. Now, I don't know for the Shetil cannot send or no, I know say you want to say, or you're proud of me, you know, or how far I just an Kodano, one bet me I call our tournament to Emo as to say, one bet me at round of 16, Abia probably about quarter final, and now some probably a semi-final, and answer one bet you do final, one just how far I just an team, and some bet me I call Yintium coach after the game of Brana, the post match, El Coso.
First of all, I think it's an amazing evening for the club, for the players, for the town, and also for Norwegian football. But as maybe you know, we don't know. We are on the 1.8 final. That's for sure, and we are now talking about goals, and we are talking about how to perform and how we can take steps and develop the players and the team. And no, I think that's extremely important. We have our way to do it, and that's really important from tomorrow and to the next round. First of all, I think it's amazing.
Jetil cannot send. Oh no, and I will tell you, Kasa or your manager, Bodo Glimt. Your dinner excepts Emma on pay live when the show I and Jumadi. Your father said, Wontumi Sports Buffalo. You're also at the opposite number. I coach now. Your father Christian Kifu. Now, Mano Kasa Inter for the say, who call league in Australia will be at himself league, you know, woman that did come out 10 points and yet, and a ban on the Canasa Coba Italia, and also. wɔn yɛ side wɔn bɔ ɛyɛ komo ɛwɔ ne yɛ kan sa ɛyɛ semi-finals ne mo ɛno sɛ Champions League wɔn afirim na aka ebi a double a Interfo betumi agye a ɛwɔ sɛ wɔn so yɛ adwumadeɛ yɛ adeɛ but the cameraman manager no after the game manager no yɛ Christian Kivu abaso ɔtwa sa wɔ bɔ ɛyɛ Bodofo na baso na bɔ na Bodofo bɔ no fast leg and no bibi atwa sɛ na wɔn yɛ better ɛkyɛ Inter Milan media nipa wo kan crazy ana me yada wo say wɔn yɛ better ɛkyɛ ɛyɛ Inter Milan no ana mo ma gani qualification yɛntie coach I fan Christian Kivu.
They play on. We give credit to this opponent because they did well in the 2 games that we play against them. Today, with a lot of organization, with a lot of spirit, knowing that they had this 2 goals advantage, that they managed to get, I don't know, maybe first half, if we could have scored, we could have put more pressure on mentally, especially on whatever their game plan was. But they did very well, and they managed not to get a goal against, and they had this comfort mentally, physically, probably knowing that we need to score 2 goals. And then second half, after 1 hour and something, they had more energy than us. Probably you can see that they play only 4 games in the last 2 months, and we play every three days. We lost our focus. We did some mistakes, and we give credit, and we have to congratulate our opponent because they were better than us in 2 games. We give credit to this opponent because
I first and second leg ni nyina mo na ebiem no yebusa coach say mowie aye Champions League say mo won ye kan sa Coppa Italia ebo e league no ensom abo league no kwade matwem ani ade na anya bia no say wona mo mo focus no eko ana say bia Inter ensom ekodiagu ana manager so of course say the moment we bo bia competition aba free no dia ka no eno ana say your main target anti Christian Kivu on target aka adama na wasuri of Inter Milan no yentia Inter wom coach.
It's always like that, you try to be competitive in every competition. Once you go out in one competition, you still have 2 competitions to play. We play the semi-final of the Italian Cup against Como, 2 games, and then 12 more games to play in the league.
Manager na swede bana otese manager no wono abo aye bobo kweva se bodo abaso no wache mami akwada na fa no sa Jean Bisek enwa Jean Bisek aye player wono so start sa game no erema Inter Milan team na akwada no so ya de bia mami ya dan enwa pa because time about sa wo mu dim komo our post match ana journalist ni yeso then this team amo se dabi se no sika asem no me no wonya dwo so abeka bia this team and said yes Bodo no omo team bia sa kekada bi o wo mu ni bono papa enti enyuzi sa phrase no fam wo kra no gaza o kasa sam no kra na wo de yenti Jean Bisek ekra fa so a wo so bo Bodo wo mo so abaso jetum se so bo a o se bo pa yenti Jean Bisek.
So to go out to Bodo Glimt, what do you think went wrong in the tie tonight?
No, first of all, I wouldn't say it like you said it. I wouldn't say it to a club like Bodo Glimt. That's not fair to them. They had a solid game plan. They did their things well. They were well drilled, well prepared. So I give my full compliments to them. But still, we expected more. We wanted more. But sometimes football gods say, not today.
To go out to Bodo Glimt, what do you think went wrong?
Training and said Dabi said yeah. We see Kasen Sabio, Sa Bodo Masadabi, Yan Kanasa full compliment on all and a mouth Bodo Natchez, what Jotum elbow and your opponent and Swabasuna and Jaba Conse and what Inter Milan Omolation Sribi Mamora, your father said Ronaldo Nazario and now on our San Siro and what you Ora, your father said Christian Vieri or no, and some Baba Stadium or say Interfono, when we have presentation. Spain anima chesa mpanfo no omunie maybe a twema komko masa wonu ya fa ball pana wonu ya te ball ne bass wanya striker wojina ya fa ko etwen ball Ronaldo na zawo ni and I'm saying game na be all crab matches and no wonu ya de na faso ya munko so lele de na faso ba ku bi res na chese wonu ya na dia some internet ne mo no enti adwuma de o ma bi pa enwa interfor so ana omo one Christian Vieri o tie obi a bo ya PS2 na ha Portugal no na wonu ya so wo shot to pa wo da internet mo a na chese no so omo mi anu ni ama chese no presentation no and also across arma one more ya de ayesa update ni nyina no and some banana one matches our baso Paris Saint-Germain one ni Monaco na abana sele enwa make sure sa branch one sa Ousmane Dembele one want to be anya training ama Paris Saint-Germain no achasa na online am nyame ya duma and yama some abesesa any ade na nyuma betia sane nyina no I was say bi ankoda no bi to say desire do enom and chaso mo maka no Gonzalo aya Ramos no aya adwuma no aya na dwina match no mu kwakabo no wonu sa akwatan na ye from Seni Majulu reporter memen sa kan sa akwatan no yesem wakacho PG mpan for say answer no be extended a contract ama club no wonom o demand similar salary er said ya warenza emiri eje wabaso wona juwa nervous ejepe emfa o sabia na say ten by no sane ma nyina no yesem boy no some demand aya similar salary ansana one some extend here one some extend na bono Paris Saint-Germain at the different level we say manager for Luis Enrique yes wasisa one morning routine na morning routine na manager nam asesa no report amenya no say answer boys ni obu on ma on na juo be miamia phone so sa kokoko social media TikTok no so NHS Snapchat na tree chesa on na quarantine as part of ayakoya manager no adiba wo say bia wo player so masi anasa bia wo maintain ebia psychologically why ready to ball no we betumi abo anasa mpo enwoche ebia wono bibi how ekwemai ana ba so abon say bia nipa no bibi ha no so no obi anim koma o say bia bibi ha nipa no enti coach no aye no say players no ba drew aye training grounds anopa anasa bia match day wo ma report no mo ba one yes why bibi to say ebia mental and no aye simple questions ebia best 4 questions and 5 now omo bisa couple okay o must teach a room or tutu o so send am trum pio pio no could dem 1000 na so our town with them so 85 that is what you say bia 424 ne ba be masa ajaru bia onyanya bia 224 de aye chese 8216 ne aye 428 asemo na when manager na say wo ba wo mutumi bisa bibi te say na enioma cross e bia team marshal no wono massage na mu din komo e bia anadwo tumi dai ena no koye na o son dai anya bia no ye massage nya no bisa ahemfa na oti ya no yade amache so mu fu say me nyina no aye level sa omo benya the best and some ade free omo team no ho ye kase bia footballer anya say we see ma fa boot no ashaw socks na ya selection wo kwatinam ade awo kobo ade o ana me ba training and team reserve was some about dabi wo mo sem wo ye sane ma nyina na ama modern born ekoye ama chese team measure near can say bia mood ano aye one hu quality sleep awunya ya hu level of aye fatigue and some about to some questions nyina no aye simple 4 to 5 aye questions oko aye Paris Saint-Germain hono ana say manager no so samra no and some diaba na report amenya no say na Galatasaray e wa to aye bobokua ye for Juve no we say Manchester scout awodo and some abako aye Allianz Stadium because enkwara no bi erisa Wolford single oyobia yes clubs awodo around Europe pomo e Galatasaray wono some akoda no ebiem aye Gabriel Sara okay wono first leg ono and a man of the match award oyo juma pa Abro Sarah ono so no womo abamonitano ebiom no ensom aye player ye found Baris Alpa Zolmas ono ensom aye attack bia Jamesel kan se clubs awoto a womo som awa Europe no womo abaso mo kofa akora ne bentena wabra Juve etrefie ne aye Galatasaray foi ensom abon scout awodo no nyina no abekwa community wo na anajo no awo Galatasaray omo hotel you so supporters na kwa kuguo mo womo yedede chant because also Juve entina omaba ana clubs na omusum Juve asam no womo fans no ababeguo na womo chante Osimhen tanadui awoso Osimhen si from na enwo no wo fi hotel room ho abai ebe sign autographs na kakra ensom adama fansa womo ewo Galatasaray hotel na nimo ensom awo Turin emonte so na Osimhen ayekana asam no ensom ana ba press conference na Osimhen say intensity na womo the first leg eshema akoma enum no woman sesano the same intensity and na woman share Juve woman underrated Juve that because according to Osimhen was Juve woman coach no were one of the best and some our game no one and watch it who can manager be bet me come back manager Fancy Luciano Spalletti and some bet me I come back no and kwasa na tree woman the match in Edia Grokra and I some striker your friend Victor Osimhen and so
we are not going to underrate them. Game is very important. I think I and the boys have one thing in our mind. We are not going to the game feeling like we've won 5-2 in the first leg, and I think Juventus is the kind of team that are rich in history when it comes to games like this, when it comes to comebacks like this. And I think their current coach is one of the best, according to me and some other people. He knows how to turn some kind of games around, and they have a lot of quality players. So we are not going to underrate them or look down on them. I think for us, we are approaching the game same way we did in Rams Park. So I think in front of their fans, it's going to be a very long 90 minutes. But I think we've got a lot of experienced players that have overcome this type of circumstances. So the game, just like I said earlier, is going to be really tough. They're going to come all out, and I think we're going to be ready for them. I think one thing in mind is that we're not going to stay back and let them play. We also want to come out to press them, just like we've done in the first leg. Of course, the game is not going to be easy, but I think considering the results in the first leg, we have an edge. But we don't get carried away by this. Just like the coach have said, that we come with a strong desire. But I think we're ready for them. The game is very important.
Kakra wote say Nigerian ya kwada na ye frano Victor Osimhen and ye den excepts ama onano pay live on the show na ye can Juve e coach no ayo ref fan say Luciano Spalletti na manager no the me say kan say very close one no other so extended a contract ama la Vicky Signora na wa bro manager no wo mo so mo extend no mo say wa ya adwuma pa na omo nka the last time boss manager bi abana ama nyama koye adama Juve and the Sabia will call first leg our way. Now call Zoom match and Ama Galatasaray in the channel. Woman from Nabas will stay. Now almost say Yami Adama Sema. Sabosa manager at Tranquandia. Woman from Nabas almost quadano. Woman this car aqua market. Woman cover place. Nibi answer the Bantina. Blazman Mutim in Tam and I said Blaze Mutim Ayatufeno. Woman from Nabas woman yes signing today. Woman say Liverpool a goalkeeper. Your friend Alison Becker. Woman say Becker. Yes one contract on Liverpool for no and abana here report am say can say Liverpool team no woman and I say Juve ever say woman for Liverpool goalkeeper and Edeneko answer na omujiri pass one hour say chiro no omuye hoye na bia goalkeeper enso abantianim say bia Alison Becker ebe stente ama Liverpool and Alison Becker enso abadwane Juve no so for free and ya deba kwa woman some na so mo ye ana nanu ya match at any come boy ya woman some alizu sa game no wonum so mo ye late and second half eba start no report am second say Juventus omo team no woman ye 2 minutes late tio 2 minutes per na 2 minutes no ya find almost 3,000 euros e was so mo bana omo betwa de ma Federazione Italiano Giorgio Calcio no FIG CC because Wontumi delay when delay 5 when delay 10 2 and 3,000 euros fine. I know and some update yet eba mama Real Madrid team na ya said the best because Manu Casino when was a mantra go from Alvaro Abalwa and then game Abasona Madrid park up the Minyana coaching young publish a squad match day squad woman ba a Champions League and then Toronto woman to be publishing a day before and I said on the same match day a bar area Manoka say Madrid on a match day squad my na Mbappe I count a man didn't delay but and what you say Mbappe will be a Syrian pay Yaraba to gas a match and on to be more benigno when said German can say woman some entering Casabia when any drum come any adenafe rubber start to where about branch any adenino Yama almost say local 10 Spain around Bense 130 area and a vow a Belwa and some other confirm the match day squad now match day squad no go to Batibu Kotua one other start Trent Alexander-Arnold Ayobi Amete so on some other ball Raul Asensio and Antonio Rudiger one and a Besha Etero now for Avao Carreras no one on some ball Arda Gulash and a Shwameni Omumiano answer Shwameni question mark our home. Aha, now on yellow data, and question mark clear yellow, and Carreras as our yellow, Vinicius our yellow, Obake Emra, Mekachos Omuno, Drobeni yellow card beyond probably. So Omudru run of 16er, first leg, and yes, our player no, one of some other to your ball, and a Nimuno, Federico Valverde, Camavinganum other ball, Vinicius Junior, and Yakatana, Yafano Gonzalo Garcia, one and a German Canasa, Yamia Admanadri. Some never to start this game, and some Los Blanco Shof, and Real Madrid, Mama Jose. What him say, an opportunity. I didn't say you answer Benfica for hotel. I'm a Dione with a one video and I'll send him crash and Tete. And you say Joseph Maruna free a team hotel on the security. Now, no, will be anybody at Jose call. Story now say Jose F. Benfica, one team hotel, Eli. Achasam anybody okosebia Jose no okokunsa na okoyan kumade be opening baby kwana sadey adwumadi na pani kwakodi ama chese security no and some aye tight adama manager no wa bra ye guso aye kasane mc be afei and wa back to team hotel and about 222 no wanu some simontenso a ye den update no nyina tempa na wa bra match abaso enana dwina yenim se bia sa game abaso obi anim de see last week Aquadana, your fellow Gianluca Prestiani and some and some dominating a young game. I was from Bono. What is yes, Real Madrid, almost socio, your cast socials now. One of your members, Omaka and Plan Open, one say Nana Dream. Na Benfica for the tibia here papa na city almost ya bomb tutu no one shot pass keke Benfica tiru kwenti mi mona womo stadium one channel so aye dey on be kataso say be adede bia Madrid supporters be bia no eno so abegina aye stadium no mo na jomo kam bia enso eno say ena no ase dede no abekosoro pa na dede no so kosura womo be ya tiam ama Benfica for no woman frustrated omo yesani man nyina diam atia aye Benfica serabea woman som abetumi ama Real Madrid omo tim no ensom abedin kunum amo ya no na Vinicius enya bona won be jere so yo obia ama Vinicius fans eno aye said na Madrid omo stadium no and man som abesia kontana dwi wo hwa na woman ta said ye eno som abeya tumabiam woman so Vinicius akwa na also woman standing ovation way a massive one. I was Aquadana. Your father said, Vinino, and some Anya Archers and I Kakra, a few Amaswara Banana Peno, and some our show so. Now, and what's Aquadana? Your father said, Prestiani, also the catch outside. One on Ayobia, where you're training and we're born or mobi. Now, so my Amakwana Quack training, I say, Woman who mother for now come be as a Wontumi Koto, DNJ, Woman born Quana Stadium, Radio Baba, Robert Tron Amam Pakwadano, and some ɛyɛ training ɛnwa ɛnti Jaminya no na pay ɛne latest amensa kan nyina no ɛnso ɛkyɛ sɛ Mbappe na wontimi mu ɛnama kyere bi no yɛsɛ nsɛntwerɛfoɔ no mu na wɔgyiri yɛ sɛ ɛne anadwoe no ɛyɛ blessing in disguise. Dintina Mbappe amabo. Now some I have blessing in disguise. One was so much say Mbappe ewomua Madrid fono womu defend ya 10 against 11. Now say Mbappe anyway Vinicius press it and watch him Gonzalo Garcia ever press it and almost say Yebehu Real Madrid omutima womu some aya wall drilled and watch it womu press ye nan watch womu defend the kama avolo bolo and some team the san na Yebehu no access and them say cohesion abeya juma teamwork no and some abeya juma pa na Mbappe makachos was say ono onkon surgery Oma yemfa sekan enkan say aye conservative aye treatment ano so abe nesu yemense kan say koba say bia Mbappe ho kran shedan ton na eba say bia France omo national team coach Didier Deschamps wonom anyami call up no tonsa ade fa Mbappe beko say ball no obetimi abo say ball no ontimi mon Mbappe abeko national camp say be wonom abeko akwa ne captain yoma no ensom awo sanse na die national team efena ontimi nanachi enfra man national team ewa bra no ensom ay update ba sansam nyina no ya de emiyete wo shadow akmama o aye Madrid almost squad ni se CN no mo depa na se se be kansa wo ko aye Chelsea Spain local time mo kansa be 130 on so mo lidie na squad o ma publish no eno ensom bana eno squad ni mo a na se attack aye Vini Junior Gonzalo Garcia Brahim Diaz and Franco Mastantuono a confirm story am de no pesa Mbappe out Medono Eduardo Camavinga Federico Valverde Aurelien Chouameni Arda Gulash wobenya kwadana Francis Sestero ono ewo squad no Manuel Angel ene aye Palacios nom ene Chasetiago nkwana no mo na nso enya team mu raye ana Dani Cavaya David Alaba Trent Arnold Raul Asensio ne Alvaro Carreras ebiam aye Frank Garcia Rudiger nom ana fe Fundamental no woman some ejinam ansana tibu kotua eye Andre Lonin and Fran Gonzalez one eye match day squad afei and Alvaro Abelwa and some confirming squad na ya de update taba mama we for say wala Laporte na Laporte campaign da so yo na no me catch us well program you shababi Laporte akopie aha eye baby e friend say chasa wenom I want you say no so we probably to say bio mango open fresh we probably watermelon open fresh be a pineapple open fresh and ye adiachi so wo say market no aye mekabanya na mekabanya no the famous fresh produce market to one yam say wade na adiachi so bi anto I want Laporte akotika kumbanom eni aponom ene chesene ma hodo a eno aye fresh no mo ton wala Laporte ni ana chesone campaign and some do some market to open and some kwakwanioma na report amenya no say Barcelona omo captain ayowura ye fan say Ronaldo Araujo onum say Ronaldo Araujo and some aye capital enwa na aye of day ama Barca team no na so report amenya say captain miam eko aye training grounds eko do training then the answer what take break aka crunching kaka in the parking order physically na dia no our form when compare other Barca players na tenwa na was one some ba aye training na fe one some ba training na puma one some aye sanioma no when say you Cancelo report am say can say bona na no ya wo bono Barca fana ni antipa na Barca management atake decision say any siano ba bono dia nyame ya ma na season no wom abasama you Cancelo stay na wono occupy aye left back and yama Barcelona wono stay na season na dia Barca baso mo yen say nyame ya ma sama womo pe aye center back and some adiaba ana center back no enye center back bia keke womo po bi onom aye world class center back and some aduna banache se be shim a partner Pau Kubasia na ne João Cancelo afa left back na Chese Kunde afa right back achiro ho asi no ano no a chese no ya dwumadi abansa for no wo mo so abaso wo ye na Nicholas Jackson nei wudru ba mo ntina report amenya se player ba ko a na me nche ba ko kra aye Nico Jackson because Hurricane no ono da bi yo boso. That is we are Jackson now we're training be a boy you cry sound obem na goes no ntimi ma say almost so pana na ne the pecking of than idea was so konche e ti be nyan so wunia and some ani nya ba ko kwa ne nyane playing timer and some number say yes Pep Guardiola and some ayo be a demi nyan say trophy ba ko obeso o jepa ayo World Cup na Pep enya ready so ba retire what na bi what you say be a Guardiola free boboku a ye for some Man City na say be a no one club bia ma check Pep abaso coaching national team as of now German can say a metro Serbia team asumasi and I said your my way and a Pep abaso coach but so already the day so said that be no what World Cup and your so as a manager every title there is no what Diaka and your World Cup and a manager abaso so Manchester for more 7 years na metese Andrew Onana say ebi amon hwe no e chese take or boy juma bruta na Onana na baso chese wonom asa be say we re establish no no Manchester United number 1 make obi dia so jaja bottom mo fancha obi aka ofio pe Andrew Onana na baso chese we baso re establish na for no number 1 and some adama boboku a ye fa no Man U na yes Man U for them say we mo tell ya back to sender yes mo catch and say Manchester on a party or you player but sir we samba bomba you be sune NC na no kwara mo be so mo ton enti nyame ya do no bolo no we na sama transfer market ni bia we team I was so pair goalkeeper then na possible na no make saves area day we mo so ma beton Onana and some Jamal na Benjamin Sesko no answer ayana central for mo you can mo ha dwen pa o Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville and a post course and ateno one class na Benjamin Sesko and Gary Neville were dead top pa say yes Sesko no ono onyo bi on time social media and say bi obere TV and also obere social media and so na video no wo behu anabi asema wo kan ayene ya na yes ayade sa akoda no wo be social media no nka one or the best kind books Serbia one books a good and comedy and that's what about basketball now sir obenya time so again will be actually me kwala again will be come kwakotie no on your cell phone be kra ni nyina na aye kakra free o maso ye and some banana pay no I was sure no so mami akoda no bon ball and my Bournemouth ye fan Ryan na Ryan aye akoda ketwa kwana no so bana ball pa na Bono for say a boy no a generational player or a generational talent and to say amobato that be ano ne bo a 100 million euros na me no moton semenyo e ma ne koi na no Bono na say obodama Bournemouth no a 100 million nei wo ma for just omoya projection and some no say akoda no wono and be the most expensive a sale our Bournemouth wo mo some abakosemu na say player Bournemouth Eltoa womo tona bote be akwada na fan say Rajan eno aye se be sia ko e wa bena no pe no ya de update ba okay say enwa me de batu twasa money pack you ene chese mirror dan tokwa no eno abesa ba so na no me de buy na me ka tro so mas let say 19 September anan tokwa no abeba so money pack you say mirror da e ka chan say womo nyan exhibition ansa me ka say mo be peska ko omo nyan exhibition no ana wo pack you so catch me what I say w masa me pen for the records and any exhibition wabo me 11 years ago afei ana be a second bout ever so no exhibition dabi yakwan kasa me bo am won sampa me bo pa enti omo nyina tiase 19 September we no an official bout an exhibition asem wo mo travel across distance wo mo across distance our Las Vegas see Nevada and ntokwana abeba so yintie money pack you ever bra say and talk about kono obiaru say our problem I want abati one person this time we be make excuses any day ayan tokwa kai ana mo kwa koko money pack you ekasa
Why is now, 11 years after the first fight, why is now the right time for this rematch?
It just happened that I'm still active in boxing, and he come out from retirement, so and he decided to do it again. So this is it. Like I'm so excited for the fight. I'm hoping for this time around, no more excuses, especially to my condition and also for everything. Like I'm so excited and ready to the fight. Although. Before he wants an exhibition with me, but I disagree, and I want to fight with exhibition with him. I want to fight a real fight like this. So this is it. Like this is what I'm waiting for.
Money pack your day and in seminal Ediaba live on YouTube, Wontumi TV live, Wontumi TV live or YouTube on live, and so Facebook names are fena or matimi connection your problems our honti a TV no digital and a satellite your and a BM no YouTube Wontumi TV live. I want to so live and so na Steve bibi find it.
Yeah, bibi aboko.
Okay.
Budo. Only Budo I want to be bibia.
I knew somewhere.
Yeah, kakra.
Okay. I'm saying so you're very okay.
Oh, boko.
Okay.
TikTok so you're live.
Oh, okay. Okay. Why that Facebook for us or more you do
TikTok so you're live. Live. Obi na can say live and carried.
Yeah.
Live and carried. Nti you call ma obi na biare. Na me ni obi o case ofia. Ade odi ayem okrum ase no. Obi a betene nke ni mgu ase kese.
Na wa ba ko akonya na ni bi.
Te oni ni pa no tene wanse a wo mpe o. O kan so na post media ba ko bi. You hear from my lawyers.
Only no was
last year. Me see you hear from my lawyers.
And your money in the DSC. And your money in the DSC.
Well, yeah, boss, yeah, Maswena, Yama Mary, na DVL Ewo Kumasi. I'm say, Nana Boache, I would DVL Ewo Kumasi, I will say, Nana Kwasi Burma, and a Mama Gifty, Omun, I know what DVL, I'm say, Omun see a show from Kra, Mama Gifty, Nana Kwasi Burma, Nana Boachenum, and so monitor DVL, and so they say, Mrs. Bennis, for Sua Chiri, I administrator, you don't mean
hospital for Louis administration.
Nice.
Brutal. Louis, chairman,
okay. Well, new Mumianantie.
Bodo, I make a very, very good story. I'm sure, sir, it's one of everybody's interest. And I pay discussion, I said it's a question. Even on the streets, I'm out for you now, appreciate the kind of job Bodo about this time or Europe. You know, and now raise your Mohasem by office. And I mean, maybe Inter would have to come all out.
And I'll say in fair salary into so. And the okay, say in Chibet. And I'm say, yeah, for salary no day, ever to so. And I'm saying, almost I'll call Inter. And I'll say that be
salary. No,
many money catch is intimate because I didn't say 25th. And then 25th. February, some say 28 or say 21. Yeah. From source never me account more. Na AC no. AC imagine why you juma from day one. Ever see the 25th day, echo the 26th, 27th day now salary be kwa to be account.
Na pay kwalo. AC be kona asa.
What do you mean shemo?
AC be kona asa.
Anya so ondo be kona asa.
Me manati o.
Enu na woni me chibodo me so me kwa ko she inta wona ase en fan so. Tu de ekoso ka wan why?
Enu so so de kan adu chire okiti. Ti ma refi.
Ah, so ya wada.
Ah, no so ya wada.
Yeah, to say that way.
This was after 26 months.
Man, shot. Man, man, too. Why do you say? Man,
obi ansuma wa wo
sika me do
obi ansuma wa wo
o do say come sika
unim so no man tena oba Mike
I said you pata pass
and all that
shall me come
and now you come be also want you and I do not to work testing am guys to say yo me catch a Newton one film
and no studio
it's me na mo me dwene me hu no
it's why I have saying
number 20 cities law
na me ya hwe do bi atimpe
I so 20
say funny you know
so fu omu 20 cities
no so no dey ya
ya chira opa
me pay
Mimini humo bro mani pawo.
Esi. Na intervention.
Reverend Evangelist no Kenya kabi kura binti. Wo sa me. Wonu ya me.
Na intervention. Na dey na original so dey kaza.
Cheese.
Yeah, Bodo for now ya there. Right now they are working with extreme confidence. Now obia amfane ni ambusa even on be ya the crowd no be drew this stage round of 16. And the pay me tell story no ka so manya 11 million aside your account omusika no per this stage now my baby drew no. I can't really go deeper into Bodo team no. With the exception of the fact say who was a coach in the person oye bibi. And now kind I'm a fixtures clubs am show mo Atlético Madrid, Man City, Inter. All these clubs, you know, clubs are European level, no. On elite nights, you call for these clubs. So, Bodo Pesa or now so one, you second and getting but these are all clubs are what it you want to get into this round of 16. But I would really want to go more deeper into Inter Milan side, you know. That is not to discredit a Juma Bodo Ababe, Man City 3-1. Away to ATM 2-1. Hosted Inter Milan 3-1. Away to Inter 2-1. I mean, explicitly, they keep scoring against these sides defensively. How do you define them?
Okay.
Inter Milan, ATM. You can't defend the pan or you bomb Basane, Man City, and buy mu. You can't defend there. Yet, how many goals are they going on it? But the Yame Person share Inter Milan team. Only say they went into the final last time out against Man City and Pep Guardiola. They lost. A 300 banning in Inter squad near a bit confusing kakra. And your squad that Obaka much yet at the top level of Europe, and your squad with me do sika back home. They still have one of the best goalkeepers in the game, Jean Soma. Yeah, you're good. Call out the goalkeepers. And until the today we capture say the wall that protects you, no, as also say who goalkeeper do you good. And yet to be a one knowledge as a goalkeeper no. What shields you? And until a clean sheet, your chama goalkeeper ni anymore for ni and the defenders no. You have a clean sheet in my goalkeeper because it is felt say a more protected goal post in here that department, you know. Jan Soma, Bisek, Amo Brett. Any Danish defender, no, Akanji, they are struggling.
Bastoni.
They are struggling. Bastoni had 8.1 rated from flat score because of the goal, no share, you know. But collectively, defense and break. Oshamo midfield, you know, 3 back and we were to make 4 in the middle. Not a free go anymore. But Inter usually naturally goes for the free middle. Man can say department or for 5, 2 hour out while Luis Enrique and a Dimarco. No ball Fino, Zelensky, Barella, Yao, and Swani European level quality need to be pushed on him. Last time I heard you buying Ediomo. Oh, yeah, the trouble because it was buying. What you say? But this time it is Bodo and Omaya Mana FPA. So maybe share team, especially on Serie A, I'm going to lead you by 11 points or so. Domestically, or more enough superior strength over other clubs, you know. But I said, how many Italian clubs they buy Europe at the furthest point to whom I fee? Milan buy. Where's Napoli? Atalanta ni Juve almost 2 goals be as someone empty and Sano Mashadi in this situation be. So Inter might have the best attack in Serie A at a goal difference of 41. Letting in only 21 goals. The best defensive side are Castle Chen Inter or Serie A no AS Roma. But in terms of the offensive side, Inter boy Jumapa, Jet put them in Europe. No more struggle. Maybe squad when it said the Roberto Mancini man free one more Jose Ebay because they sat deep and said say squad way you can say reshuffle and fata. They still have to Ramo team. Amo Martinez, a World Cup winner. Barella, he's still top midfielder in the game today. Zelensky, Chanoglu Opera, Bastoni in the clubs are who didn't know. Last time I saw Francesco Achabi Momunani age 37 Oko, but they've made sure somebody Bisek by show not to a level of quality, you know, Achabi bet demonstrating on the field, but Bisek Emma Hono is silly just in terms of personal quality they own feeling. Enter team Nadia and two Sinisa. Name Christian Kivuna and Kobe get to the best out of this squad now. We're very much inexperienced. Into to his CV, a rich man, but to the level of the club, and Hana, your level. So Margaret Chem said, Mabobo Abaso, but internal say almost also a check it and Yama Bakumi to be Mansana, I'm back full timer. I'm about check it almost squad and your bass squad at all. But they need a manager to get the best out of him. There are certain coaches when they come in love with a system, they are very difficult to best system. One of them is Diego Simeone. We won a 4-4-2 in Rado. And after game, no solo, Tenya hat trick. And as Simeone say, he had wanted to start Lukman, but solo to start game in T. The 4-4-2, no, what they are yet dominant domestically are winning La Liga 2. About Champions League final twice. 14-16, that same system, no. Simeone, when was the last time we saw what free back? 4-2-3-1. Do you see that? It has always been 4-4-2. And the 4-4-2 is so special because 41-50, and yet the boss standard 4-4-2 no be. Standard 4-4-2 no ayat 7-11 medical 2. No man am China chai. But Simeone the other day, above 4 central midfielders. Even a Bello Abono with Camavinga and a Valverde no. So getting Lukman, Julian Alvarez, and Alex Solotono, maybe in the current game, he has one of the best free number 9s. Oh, game, oh, kind of component. Some me in some way, number 9 for or Solot, a person dominating or switching into crosses and a high balls or Alex Solot. Even in the box, he punches so well. And oh, Lukman, 2 technical number 9s. Omni born the ball, to me critique, to me share. And versatility wise, to be conche, a ball behind a striker as a leading line. 4-4-2 ways, Simeone was champion. And did not conform and as I never before I never conform no or ball said the medical kind. But getting Lukman very solid on the squad and after game of black by say they can win against anybody. And so squad now started in your confidence say on between ABB. Yo. The first person or the first people when you confidence say a German to be a seer, and my German is Siampa, and your coach. Yana a place in emu. It's a place in your confidence. Coach, their car will be pushing tactical side game management. Went to decode matters on the field to this place, and I am here. But right now, Black, David Hanko, Mark Pubil, they are forming a trial who experience said you got in more. No more the let's see how it goes. Maybe La Liga no only strength won't be brisa, but Europe no there or the Nanam Chenche Ebian Wakakoji. Pep Guardiola say obetimi akọ national team football. But they no better one more. Me pesa me come Madrid game no so. Yeah, me tactics deep, you know, say me tactics deep. But in the game no. As I said, Abelo demonstrated charisma idea. He has to be the first warrior, not place in a follow. Abeloa, he shouldn't hide behind the place. Oh, Mbappe be yejumana mame, Vinicius be yejumana mame, Babe Buesino. Today, Mourinho will come all out. Apart from on-field tactics, Josie Messagano, there are certain ways be able to catch the boys on the field.
On say Omama we are singing who say ye racist club because and ajuomo mamo ho ntomo kra because me say stadium or atmosphere ne dear in favor Benfica.
No way.
Originally on nights like this Sane Beye and a Vieri na samba be kan
in favor Benfica. No way. And the Vieri na sa wasn't na the ma ade no assist no say can English club come be fambo Tihani. Se Newcastle na yes, Madrid sa ade na sa be come be partial. And son on beba.
Okay.
Yeah, Aston Villa mo no. Sa be come fra chire aye amaniema kofom. Temperament kofom but Benfica for we no. Omo to say pay for na. I'm say Latin America automatically mo no. E ho no free o. Around no central defense no. They are all players what and you very sure so you be around
Kwakwana na di team na chi aba asamba ye training our pitch na so abra ball no omobi
UEFA ya de papa so mo de o say UEFA anka nche obia say wakan yo UEFA anka so wakan yo wase ye hwehwem but ebre makwan me hwehwem nwie na ye verdict ba enti o janche nkobo game UEFA ya de pa the new say plan general field so a ese be sinye France be di dinatem Obi you mano. I feel quite about worse. But I'm telling you, say there are other members of the Benfica squad. Mono be prepare mo. Okay, sir. Manchester United na Jose do mo ko ba bia omo didi na tamo ye ne nsa no say ne kire mo no. Train all years. I think one of the clubs. He doesn't care. That is Jose. He feels that it's part of your history. At the time now, Basebu Mukomu no one am friend no. He knows that. Okoka kire Juve fo no. Okoka kire mo. Na internet Juve wo refia. Na internet Juve no ten no hey Juve fans no. E no ye ne nsa say kire mo. And was sad or yeah, trouble. He has a way to communicate to everybody. Camera, fans, the players. That is Jose. Me say Nadia, abalo upon ho. Nana Jose ni be match. Individual quality. And Benfica Tipe and Madrid, but the game also belongs to the Latin Americans, and interest will give them papa. And Jose know how to go around this. Abeloa a qualifier, a big boost at the morning squad now. When person Jose Baba said the antes no pay or the actual Abeloa, that's what Madrid will still be looking out for. And the coach because when him say Europe here Madrid Madrid pass. Imagine say Benfica Madrid, and you free Benebao ne yow. How the hell lands be tomorrow? Jose back at Bilbao. No way. And smart call back at Kawachro no there.
Well, no, me that say, and I your full house. You two way Don Cosimo no say. Imagine if Bodo catch this Barcelona team. Anka funeral pow Inter who has good defense in Pony now Barcelona with Kunde. Well, the message no. This one says good morning Fancy. I'm Evo watching the show live from Agogo, so more update on Real Madrid. The more now Ediaba. We say I'm watching the show live from Chira, and also update on FC Barcelona. Area Gladys Ewo YouTube and a Dane Diano so by. Hey, Inter Milan. Madrid fans are mocking us, the Barca fans, because we couldn't win against Inter at the San Siro. And no, and I say, Madrid for no Barca from the Bodo for no. I will say. Good morning, Francie, to you and your crew. Stephen Boadi is one of the best analysts we have in the country now. His knowledge about the game is mind-blowing. I really like him, or I say. And Kunini Kwame Adonten was say Inter has declined from the climax, apex, and now they are at the base of football pyramid. Meza?
Yes, my initiative phobia. And I think everybody loves the story of underdogs. And I think Oshe Adena Bodo Koye against Inter Milan now will be excited of such stories that comes around the Champions League. But it is not all of these stories that have a happy ending. And then you know the happy ending. Yeah, you might have a very good run, but at the end of the day, what you leave on the hearts of the people is what matters. And I think Bodo, they are really right to get certain results and put themselves in such discussions. Kaime 2006 Villarreal in the UEFA Champions League, story like that. Shaka Nufie 2011 Omodekobo the semi-final against Manchester United. There has been Ayas in 2019. A beautiful story. Akumu into the Champions League. The FC Porto team, the Monaco team in 2004. But the Ebema Bodo Diana Demusun said Norway is literally not a football powerhouse nation as compared to, let's say, Shakanufia, Germany, Monaco, France, Porto, Portugal, Mobehe, Villarreal, Spain, Ayas, Netherlands. Norway shouldn't knew that particular level, no. And now no cry maybe more off season because someone started or league, you know. But you look at what they are doing, what their coach has brought into this team. Typical old-fashioned basics. You see, more an extraordinary tactical football. Say, coach Netua Basa it's just the basic things that they are doing in football. And then, Michel Mudin defend compact, attack 4-4-2, just quick transitions 1-2-3. A group and him don't stay long on the ball. Passing go now at them. They're just effective and efficient, and we're doing the simple things to get a lot of things out of the game against Inter Milan, and they felt that they were in control of the game, which is true. Also, normally teams like this, win the first leg and normal call the return leg now. Under pressure, be one beti kakra.
So mo could defend.
But when they felt like no, we are in control of the game. Inter needs 2 goals to take it to extra time. They need 3 goals to qualify. So don't put yourself in certain positions and be more struggle. So make sure that the first 15 minutes, last 15 minutes of the first half, second 15 minutes of the first half, the last 15 minutes of the second half, be no, be making sure say, be putting your things in order so that you don't concede. And they make sure say at least almost a good be answer na Inter Milan ebeshe. And even mistake na Kanji Koshe and Kramo Munya first goal. I was wondering how Inter were going to be able to pick up the pieces and score 2 goals to take it to extra time, because Bodo were defending gallantly, and I think say omo prove omo quality at this stage of the UEFA Champions League. We love these stories, beautiful stories like this. And my competition near economy mu yede. Because say UEFA 1 man or say the new format of the Champions League has been able to give us some things like this. Ama BBT say and no how run now Washe City, Washe Atletico Madrid, Wababeshe Inter Milan. But for Christian Kivu, this raises a lot of questions. The last time I come into a knockout round of the Champions League, where I who say an Italian team in the knockout round of the competition. Now I begin 1987, 1988. Ache. And that year the PSV and Hoven Benfica they bought the Champions League final. PSV and Hoven AJ. That season. Now fast forward, and then you have 2 Italian teams on more position to say. MSA Bakuna likely say and I say BB will beat my qualify.
Why?
Atlanta beat my BB they are qualified because and make us a 2 goals gap.
Okay.
I'm on the fee. As compared to Galatasaray, then chances between the 2 Italian teams, Atlanta then they looking much more even realistic than whatever Juventus, because Juventus during the weekend the crash actually said no, they are not ready to compete. Juventus team no under Spalletti, everything clearly directs towards one direction. Said, we know, because born Juventus who born Ankasano, and your boy is same crime. So we bet me, I'm a Juventus are qualified ahead of Galatasaray. So if Italy should go through this phase, and a single team in the round of 16 of the Champions League, then this is not a good time for the league at all. This is not a good time at all, and especially when they are also trying to get through the playoffs, some might qualify for the World Cup. Since 2009-2010, no Italian team has won the UEFA Champions League. There are a lot of things that can come in, and maybe a tremendous can catch you say, how are you Inter, how are you AC Milan, your master? Quite fast why you Juventus. Any Juventus do omujina for in Italy, and then even the best Italian players are not the players who are even dominating the Italian teams. There's nothing wrong to have foreigners dominating in your team. So in the English Premier League, Manchester United kuta foreigners meboa, Liverpool kuta foreigners, in the Spanish La Liga, Real Madrid kuta foreigners, Barcelona kuta foreigners. Nemum ade ma wodamu sronko ya wo identity a wugina ho de bibi no. There is a need for you to improve in that aspect, which Italy for Nankasa no omo enya weaknesses in that particular regard. Even their defenses are not as compact as we used to know them to be. Omo defender, you ask yourself, is this really an Italian team? Omo questions, is this really an Italian team? How can an Italian team be Bodo home and away no concede 5 goals? It is something that shouldn't be happening, but that is the reality. Many might be come out there because almost I prepare count. I'm going to prepare because Inter Milan will sell players for huge amount of money. About one catch also play on the funny money loan. About one season now, the following season now, say there be Safa me loan be. Safa say, Sana Interne Juventus modete wonum. Obabu wano kurana no munai no to ase. Obi betime argue say there's no money coming into the league. But these are teams that plays in the Champions League season after season. And they sell players. Omutombi. AC Milan Tonali we be 65 to 70 million pounds we also niska.
Tonali krananya about 75.
I can go we also no niska. And how they are operating so moment to me generate a lot of money in other aspects so because how you operate your club in terms of putting it on the market to get even more sponsors to come on board to give you a huge amount of money is also problematic. And there are questions that needs to be asked, serious questions. Now, no, I think Berlusconi in the banner bedim komo be say, I did how musisi a pani say, or more money that 60, 75, 80. Omo so to Italian FA on more managing your man. And the Italy football then just to make sure so meet my back. Now, what innovative ideas can they bring on board? A bit more than in the face of the league. You say more than a day. And I think for the Italian Serie A, also more than your quick because England for no yaw. And no more how many teams in the knockout stage, you know. 5 in now, obi. A 6 cra because then it's a tournament space so can one ameboa. Omuna ni na mo mokubi. Spain obi a yaw. And Abelo abebo a big game. Babelo anankasa no so ne to nsani ani se oni Jose Mourinho nko tenase nkosia kan ko bo as coach sa ontimi Jose Mourinho Jose be boni mfima ma na pie ne mfe ba akonim because Abelo awaso men a onso men che Jose Mourinho and in terms of you to team Abasan Francisca Abelo anyanduru sa level no yaw. This is a man who has lived greater nights in greater stadiums in the Champions League. He has experienced superb nights, miraculous nights in the Champions League. He knows what it means to play in the Champions League. Still remains the last manager to have won the UEFA Champions League title for FC Porto. Still remains the last manager and they offer Italy no obianti in the Champions League ni bibiom. On about Italy, and the European trophy by ya me no kan kura no Osama second round no kura na bra na mu acha na Italy nya bi no sa kofa Conference League bre omo. Yes. And sana Gianpiero Gasperini di Atlanta mo. E kofa the Europa League ne di ayede. E di aba. So when it comes to European competition and the standards and the kind of results you expect, this is a man that can give you results tonight. Yeah, the only thing that can save Real Madrid tonight is their big boys stepping up.
Mbappe free out. I can't
send them Vieri ho. Vavadi Munes are also money na bogem ni bi ne.
And I want to Christophe Dugarry. Maybe I understand was say Madrid hono. Players ne been deserve obo Valverde ndi obo Camavinga bo Chouameni bo Arda Güler ebo David Alaba.
Because yaw, I think Jose Mourinho has a plan. Quietly.
Jose Nsumani omai hu dodo. How much you be if you to kwai.
Yaw. He baby original so ono na be break Real Madrid jinx in the Champions League. Yaw na Olympic Lyonnais. Real Madrid do round of 16 quarter final be earlier the young Jose Mourinho buy no se me twaso. One Barcelona cover the semi-final of the Champions League ba akubi. And ye ni free mu. 12 game. But Real Madrid are qualified 22 out of the last 23 times are winning the first leg of a Champions League game. But for Benfica, they also have an intriguing record. Say almost last 11 knockout games. Home and away in the Champions League. Almost winning 8. That means they can even not qualify. But they will find a way to stress you. Ebu a first league, we bet much on 3-0, no matter 2-0, no matter 3. We bet much on 2-0, no matter 1-0, no matter no more film. We bet much on more be a bear 4-0, no matter. But 1-0, no, yaw, and my game where you when Real Madrid is a team that is prone to conceding.
Yes.
1-0 in the Madrid.
So crucial game. Madrid MC Mbappe.
Yeah, the only trump card for Benfica, and then you marry Jose Mourinho. The only trump card for Real Madrid tonight are their key players. It's a game where both teams to score, I wouldn't be surprised. So now I can say Bodo and Bodo go. But it's a game where both teams to score, I won't be surprised. But I think the Champions League royalty puts Real Madrid a little bit above Benfica in terms of qualification to the next round. So Real Madrid beat me qualify.
No, be some can say we are aware crowded that say Madrid now a budget Champions League, you know.
Some are aware that I say Madrid now a budget Champions.
So among free money, I want me rule.
Oh, that's of course. I've always said they say yes, started Champions League. You can't take ball crowd. There's only one. There's only one favorite. There's only one favorite. There's only one favorite.
Yes, our mama tonight who because I'm on be training. Me dream one man.
On our game like game.
Steve Bray.
Yeah, me that say. Story be about Ronaldo phenomenon, and then it wasn't the best welcome to the San Siro, a venue down on Vieri. They did a lot together for international Milan, but then it was envisaged say. So I never call looking at so we will be our follow Milan Inter this season and the rate they consider now, especially going all the way to Norway consider trainer. I knew say that would be their last stop until America said they will not progress. But I not the emergence of stats in social media and your mobile you know Emma game when you really want to praise or more football now the way it's supposed to be now and a conversation is not difficult because no be a stats or JDN or she goes saying now a bit more boys need be sorry and pay Ronaldo no create can the phenomenon no chief was Walcott and share more goals in the Champions League than him so near canon do you then want to say you work you're better than the phenomenon. You see, play football, no winning football, no true and true, no. Na the discussion of stats and numbers, no. And because say yeah, chef game na nkasa the optics na the mauna. Now she be more skill set and quality. The Ronaldo Wontumi say he's a guy. Is it that he didn't want to be remembered as
Champions League
Ballon d'Or,
FIFA best?
But I feel say Vieri man this gentleman Robinho. Say yes, football no pass. Ubi a football the yeniyama. Things as a discussion table be I was a Vieri Basa had discussion. That is the the eye test near can was him. The new generation are come more to statistics. Until I make us a nazi down about one coin you best. Because the Bible says the numbers say we will rate Jubileum ahead of Zidane in the current
because of the number of goals scored.
But football, no, the real recognizes real. Until we sang of one discussion, anytime a bit different. Phenomenon she goes in the Champions League. But why we share the be and our football team say this is how the game is supposed to be. Until we are no be when man baby
Robinho dey na go for buy now say I need new crest. Me Kaiser City for no be starting on 2022. I mean on your first major signing. Okay, so now Chelsea fan be na was now around 32 million pounds that time.
Yeah.
When you hear the Odeba longevity ni bia.
Aye.
Talent in them
from a bache.
Yeah, apart from a bache, won't be coming beyond for Robinho.
Hey. You see, so so the new generation, not my take time kakra. And also I enjoy football, no the real game, no. Senior. You see, Obi Oha to say most of the youth better iPhone, very expensive one. Obi better watch and boarding to tell you say the status now was wrong. So what I say, but we share Robinho now go share. Vieri Junior and so Oje then we a Ballon d'Or winner. FIFA best. But you look back then now share the FIFA technical team and the best player of the year. No? Now it's not about the numbers now, and the game proper. So me sure Robinho di na ma hwe de Neymar ebeye wanye best ni bi. Now you look at check it Ronaldo from the 1990s eba award no in succession sir na injuries hana at the World Cup stage no or nioma. So Theophilus Walcott beat me a chef 15 goals in the Champions League. But no one him says you body din the bata Ronaldo din is an insult. I was a copacho. He has to go and apologize. And you are not a trade there. But the moment the din they attach him be close to Ronaldo no, maybe will be also a copacho. Because the game was more of an entertainment something. That is why Ronaldinho be called about. But both game they now Real Madrid fans a bonds a man because what they pay to watch, they've been fed that. So that is the little bit about. And the game, I fear for Real Madrid. I have some bit of fear for Real Madrid because I
am Madrid.
Madrid
at the Bernabeu.
Bernabeu. Inti Omasem Kano. The reason I had difficult to talk about them because they are Real Madrid. But reality say and they say any vintage win in the first leg. It was an individual brilliance. Now there will be much more scrutiny with the gamer Vini Babo and they have nothing to lose. This is a side that Washa Madrid this season a few weeks ago. And Madrid by be redeeming or they are going to this game. The off the pitch incidents, and they lead usher in this particular game. Important game. I may determine who needs to qualify. But a gamer, so Madrid be qualify, they will need Courtois to be at his brilliant best. Any dip, slight dip, ever cause a problem because they will go at Real Madrid. Mourinho had a card, so he will not be at the bench. He's suspended for this game. But Mourinho said he said the war of mind games, he wins it. And I know about the Akoshe Inter Milan, so they will take solace from that. You are more than capable of doing that. Inter Milan or team, they have good players, but becoming a team I am very compact. So opposition share that is what is lacking because of Christian Kivo. So at the Bernabeu, it's a ground that Benfica can equally cause an upset and then you may. But you ask yourself, say, Madrid were the names and I say players be I feel say they can change the face of the game for them. And I feel if should they have a way out and call the usual names, I'm expecting the game we should be a gamer or introduce Gonzalo Garcia.
Did they end or not because Rodrigo soon count?
Yes, but so Benfica also upset that. Don't be surprised. They are more than capable of doing that because teams now pick a point for Real Madrid, even in the La Liga. No? I don't think they are better off than Benfica.
We see a champions.
They will go all out. They want to prove a point to UEFA. Say they feel injustice in a way. So findings no way as they put establish it. And our uniform. They travel to Madrid with the same guy, with Mourinho, our band. And none of our team and I can't a word ahead of this game. So we are in for a real blockbuster. Benfica and you need to penny Real Madrid. Level B but this is a gamer. They have a chance of progressing. So if Madrid wants to qualify, they would have to avoid any slip, any iota of mistake and more game, because I foresee Benfica causing an upset at the Bernabeu.
Well, Steve, me that say, me back Mr. Bodo. Now on YouTube, and now Kwesi Gallo say, Fancy, good morning. I remember Sarabuadu said he wants Bodo Glimt to meet Inter Milan. He predicted Bodo Glimt to eliminate Inter. Openi.
Chairman, Bibi Aboko. Ayana football muno ya wanyo maybe or ha a baby shia nesi super pepe. Yeah, near the fairy tale stories around football. And near the first time ABC Champions League in him. Akumia recounted a lot of such incidents like BRL. And the season they had in 2005-2006 under Manuel Pellegrini, a team that had one Roman Riquelme, some exciting young footballers here blend yomu together. It took Arsenal to prevent BRL from making it to the Champions League final. And then it was a penalty save from Jens Lehmann. Last minute penalty, Ejima BRL for no. Then Jens Lehmann saved it. Arsenal won 1-0. The qualified core, the Champions League final now Barcelona share no. A lot of such stories. I remember when Leon Ejinan and Aso under Michael Desiemo, they played some Champions League games with PSV Eindhoven. But PSV's story, it was well told in 2004-2005. I think it was under Gusidink. That time Korea Jumane, then he had returned. Then Gusidink had an excellent core, including Basa Boy Nomkofa and Ibrahim Afalai. Philip Koku was winding down on his career, no also a transition core, and they have brought on a certain Brazilian core. Norma tried the Brazilian experiment for Romario Kohoko being Ronaldo. Before so be mainstream Europe, he passed through PSV Eindhoven. Inti now mujidi se Brazil for near the omobani e bi omo yetonwa yenyam faso. So they had Alex, the Oba Chelsea. They had there was Victor Bruma and other Brazilian contingent and one more side. They put together a solid team, made a remarkable run all the way to the Champions League semi-final. That was PSV Eindhoven. Leeds United there is the best to tell, and it mirrors what Bodo is doing. Bodo last season, Europa League, or semi-final, Spurs ne year free. Then Spurs went ahead to win. In the team of J last season, Europa League, only the team of prevented Bodo from making the final. Then Leeds United were a similar storyline. In the UEFA Cup in 1999-2000, Leeds made a remarkable run all the way to the semi-final stage. Then the season after, Bodo and Leeds Yebi. In the Champions League, they made it out of the two group stages. That time, that format is different from in there. Over two group stages. The first group phase, the second group phase. Then you qualify to the quarter-final and then the semi-final. What Leeds did was they lost some quality. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank had left to join Atletico Madrid. And they decided to bring on board Mark Viduka. Mark Viduka. Harry Kewell was there. Then it was the same season Omokoto Rio Ferdinand for £18 million from West Ham to join Leeds United. Jason Walker was here in the Manchester United. He was part of that Leeds team. Leeds made a remarkable run all the way to the semi-final stage of the Champions League. Timo Yinifrimu was Valencia. And at that time, Valencia had lost a Champions League final the season prior. Valencia Bayern the boss our Champions League final that season. Bayern had lost in 1999-2000 to Manchester United. And Valencia had lost to Real Madrid just the season after. Into Mobile Remuno. It meant Leeds United were meeting a team or familiar with the Champions League. And everybody believe. So if Ankankoye Valencia Nekoye any other team, Leeds would have made a run to the final. So Bodo's story, a part of the catalogue of fairy tales you recorded in the Champions League. It can be Deportivo La Coruña, their own guy, Diego Tristan, this current Argentina coach, Lionel Scaloni. He was part. Deportivo La Coruña, Milan, they overturned that deficit. Then made a remarkable run all the way to the top. There is Malaga and Manuel Pellegrini. Isco Mo. A Pebe Pejo or Mudindi or mobile limelight in him. I can tell you a lot. Monaco. Didier Deschamps Monaco. 2003-2004. the Porto J Champions League, you know. Memo Montreal, Adebayo, Patrice Evra, Ludovic Julie. At that time, Monaco had sold Rafael Marquez to Barcelona. Then Shabani Nonda. Then on loan from Real Madrid, Fernando Morientes. Monaco be back the final. Porto ne show much from Munsem. But one thing is very common, a feature baton. Timor, yes, no. They don't just make a remarkable run, but again they expose players who will come to dominate the game, and then they expose coaches who will come and change the game. The story now, Gusidink was a renowned coach, will have a huge impact in the game of football. I can mention Manuel Pellegrini. The Obeya of Manchester City, we have all seen it. I can go on and mention a lot of other coaches. Didier Deschamps, Monaco team, no. The Deschamps has won a FIFA World Cup. And he enters a prestigious terrain. Wa captain the World Cup as a player, wa coach the World Cup as a player. But he started somewhere with Monaco. Mourinho, with that remarkable run with FC Porto, she the Wabeya football. So the coach of Bodo, Gjetel Natsen, what it means is that he is writing his name in Norwegian football history, but the impact, it will permeate the boundaries of not just Norway, but better by Europe. And I see it here, I can't answer him. Ordinarily, I will not come here in the morning and come and discuss Bodo and their coach. But the Omayeno, a Hunsun Sansona Bowa Fariasi baby, and to be at the sentinel. Into bedding common now, Bodo will play a part. Sanity. So that is the influence and the impact that Bodo will have. The influence and the impact they will have, not just winning football matches, but changing the narrative. Ebe shebi mun crying. Ebe players apie. That Monaco team gave Barcelona Ludovic Julie. Inti almost Arsenal at the Champions League, no. Not Julie way. Where was he? He was with them. Barcelona. It gave Manchester United Patrice Evra. Evra is known as one of the best left backs at our Premier League name. So they will also give to these established clubs players. Jans-Peter Hauk. Waba Italy hopping.
Milan.
Amfa. But Okonichi. Look at where he is and what he's doing with them. And it's a very good year for Norwegian football. The Omoyan were club level. The national team is so Italy Premier. They beat Italy fair and square in 2 matches in the World Cup qualifiers, and they topped Italy. They prevented Italy from automatically qualifying for the FIFA World Cup. And a club this was bet now Inter Milan and EG, because at a point in time, Inter looked like the savior of Italian football in the contest of the Champions League. Team Bia outperforming Inter in the Champions League throughout the stretch. Until you need to ask one, no. I don't know, so I'm more betting a minute, no. And then before game 9 for now, you're more or no. Oh my, you have some videos, chemistries being almost. And Quadrach, your wallet, oh, it's a beautiful story. So, Sana football, no, at here. But me, Monfan Chairman, I mean, digress a kakra. Football is taking a certain turn. First, you know, now your owners they were passionate about their clubs and they invested in their clubs so that they can win. The best example I can give to this model, dear Mosisama, with Midiema in Ghana. Abramovich, any dear or year with Chelsea. Now your sister football nini so Abaye run properly as a business. So it is more about profit and loss as much as it is about results on the pitch, winning you trophies. And you see, saying football is seen as a multi-pronged approach. It is not just a football club here, Boniachi trophy, but it's also running in Yamfaso. A bekum football teams nibi any omu models. No? Milan, Pejano, it was Silvio Berlusconi. Berlusconi pumped money into Milan and it started their renaissance in the late 80s, early 90s, 2000s. Milan here dominant at home and then also Europe, it was because of the model Berlusconi was running. Inter Massimo Moratti, Pirelli ties. Now, again, that type of ownership was very popular in Italy. This is to explain how Italian teams neighbors is saying. Your best is football in this one. Say now you need to manage and make profit. A lot of these Italian club owners decided to bow out. And so the outcast is here now. Edimu Kakaya Agnelli Ebusiano Juventus. Omokraso, they lack a leadership to steer them forward. After Andrea Agnelli Koyano, Ekran Niniano, Nekez and Wontumi run a club ni. But this was the model for Italian clubs. Now asisa into foreign ventures, investors from foreign companies and now bet to talk to clubs and they are managing them strictly for profit. Who can say me at all mitrim? Who say AC Milan turn to Nali? We know say they are using it to offset a certain debt. A kabia daho. First, Berlusconi broke and he will move on. But now, Oboka, was a wote, until Juma Fate, a cum Italian football. I dear can see a pay come on back on. Yeah, back on.
And a pay cry back studios now. Mama Magada say, leagues are most cabamu panem say Spain, La Liga and every second abated.
And the dynamic model of the Spanish clubs, particularly Madrid and Barcelona, and then they survive a lot of models that will come into the game. They move with the membership. Barca crash and but the membership will always find a way to bail you out. In Italy, it is very different. And then actually a lot of their clubs and the investment they make into their teams, and that is one of the fundamental reasons. But Kakrebi on Snoop to me and the Swansea. Again, it follows the same trend I am talking about.
Sharak more video no. Mama Snoop Dogg about Swansea say minority shareholder. Betcha handkerchief say go biasi to move. On
handkerchief or the yard. You see, why would Snoop and Swansea decide to form this kind of union? There is an academic exercise here. Normally, Swansea, if they were in the Premier League, and Common will come this deal with the level of excitement and the buzz around it. But the ownership of Swansea has changed. They have American owners. They need to think outside the box and find innovative ways to increase their revenue. And then make sure, say, they will run the club in a manner where they will not fall breach to profit and sustainability rules. They are bad football. And Swansea will Premier League Masikanko Benyano every year from the Premier League sponsorship broadcast right. Kebe Buamu Etimia Bon Hobra. Of free Premier League name I think 2018 Meboa. From that time they bano Swansea fortunes has nosedived. Premier League Sikanko Benyano Mbabion and the parachute payment etra. So we free Premier League Minko Championship now your parachute payment be a demand every year. I think for 2 years or 3 years. I'll try and find out more. Now I know you're the ball who bracket into that clubs need be quiet. Quickly over to me manage no mamba. Now Swansea or Wales, south of Wales, and you cry and then omuni dom. So they are not making money. So one way to try and revive a very stale environment and then bring some revivification process in generate scano through the Snoop Dogg initiative. So one, Swansea's following on social media is very poor. Me have any can. Me sure say me post it to Facebook. I mean your reactions as in Swansea. Now, if I get Snoop, whose combined following on social media here 100 million, what it means is that we will tap into the following of Snoop. Me who say Snoop endorse Swansea. Me who say Snoop Abba Stadium. Quickly, me kwa follow Swansea. At the same time, and now Andrea, you boss Swansea, you know. You see, you can Swansea matches. So Snoop is bringing a different market, a different audience, a different following to the Swansea overall following. That is one part. Then the merchandising. hanky na ekita na no matro we egu so ana
na message ni say
match
munye dede
I think I have
monfa video ni mre Swansea City for the na no pay
me come the picture no crash and Shadrack Nankasa. I think I have a picture of Snoop endorsing Swansea City. Now merchandising is very important. America market ne tonioma enti yes Chelsea koye NFL jersey anameboa. Yes, so you need to find innovative ways. In the end, turn Swansea jersey. How about we get a T-shirt, Snoop enim them, Swansea logo boom, amount for better and monto. And will it be just the people of Wales? No, the people of America. Omuji Snoop D. So we tie in with Snoop, not just as a person but as a brand, to increase merchandise sales. Send a bit me generate car. Yeah, they are running
some noise, make some noise, and then message and you go a town.
Exactly. So it is an unorthodox approach to maximizing sales, heightening revenue generation or increasing revenue generation, and then also making the popularity of a football club like Swansea increase to a larger extent. And Untina Snoop and Swansea become Wontumi, and it's a mutually beneficial relationship. Snoop be didi kakra, but Swansea be didi pa.
But I say, Mike, couple bray na ye foreign ye buffy straight away na ya baba to so a day a free we are na piano.
Eguso kakra ka mu ewiemu ye no
we are na
normal and easy. The weather no so na ewia no boy ebema hiti wiem kakra na yemon komo kakra na yemfa iloka no say anopa no yebon komo kakra efa abranche efreni se Jonathan Soa eho eka se nuoma yekoso ewo Tanzania no fancy nye enye easy crowd timi se enra ewo omo radio station ne wo mo newspapers no omo trotra na de no omo trotra ni nyina no basically on abranche Jonathan Soa kire se omo se waje bribery bi omo the bribe for no into omo match a omo ebebo na me adoma ene no enra na yeti se coach no na say Omma branch Jonathan Soa enkosa game ni biomo ene Dodoma Gigi ana ebo nti 415 gamer eba so no mu uniform na report about say the salary nso o mate so with almost indiscipline actions be our club nti ya ten salary 50% na report free ne campaign ban say the lawyers no say o matro e de ama FIFA nti enya abotre na yenka yakoma entu eyam de won bia no on beba be kan ho asem e de akere no e kakra wo mu e de aba nti won sem eno Ghanaian players them say womu tu kwan hard dwe pa nsama ya na eba no ebi mu succeed ebi mu nso ya na problem Steven Amankona nso ya de ne de eba no pa no e ka kire so no nso ni team na obo no se we say the nuama esiti a na say empanifo enso kire say ne modemo no ene say de indiscipline act enso esiti e Egypt to Alexandra hono enya de say nuama bitima ko inti smuha e ho anu obo na de etini san hwe mo enso be terminate the contract e de amana no e ka kire free Steven Amankona na so ye na de be de wonsam no ele eba na Ghana ni akoda awo no na obo krobia Kumasi Asante Kotoko ko loan enso ekogina mu de Emma Santa Vigo eboboko na no pano ye de wonsam de buy na arantie no said na djuma fair na se ne ball no wosi eyi ne yem ebo ene said wosi akowura mo Santa Vigo ne model maso wo manim no mo kire se abrantia ye friend se Bernard Somwa na djuma die no ekona nimpa na omo assign a permanent deal until 2030 na boy no minim se na anu ye okoyem se wakosua Spain for omo kasa ne pa na wakakakra wode ama supporters ne se we ready for them.
Hola sisters, estoy muy contento, estoy aquí a la Celta. Hola sisters, estoy muy contento, estoy aquí a la Celta. Hola sisters.
Ta na se bibia dana kweme no se the nuama esiti e don se me de ba kotoko o se the nuama city a wo gate fee against vision no o mo de aba o ye kotoko supporter 20 cities popular stand center line 30 and a VIP 70 Ghana cities and o mo jinti na me adom na se onya kakra obetimi de akohwe na nuama enso akoye former kotoko coach Abdulkarim Zito na nuya no de kotoko for a party we say Ashanti Gold 04 wono mo anedi dwuma adwuma officially enra and omo announcement by say coach no omo be adwuma na officially omo de natural players ni to unveiling no enso ekọ so e de nsem de ba na one agadas henie na say adwuma omo be bo e wo boase de adwuma keto akra na o agadas na o coach friend Karim Zito na say adwuma na si e de ama Ashanti Gold 4 e wo ene premiership yo mbe say wo mo enso ba Black Queens make say wo mo adu United Arab Emirates ni nyina ne say wo mo ekobo ene tournament eno Pink Ladies Cup and ekoso ewo United Arab Emirates nti wo ma to mo nsa fra Queensi a wo mo akwakodu arrival no ane de elma no inter schools no super zonals no etojo baba Iraq Sports Stadium no apane ye don sema by schools wo mo take part ni nyina no ye don sema by day one event no pole vault girls and ekoso 400 meters boys and girls and 4 and we will see a long jump and so girls omubeko and have javelin so there's a boys and so about to 800 meters boys and girls cost to 200 meters boys and girls and cost to 400 meters hurdles boys and girls and afi short put and so mano and so bejam triple jump boys ebebo and afi almost so ebe wajuma and 4x100 boys and girls ebe 2500 boys and girls ebe 2 na afi no so you can say oshe eventer and we kwaso na ye don say ba me ka say ye studio ye ba na ye call monitor no na teams no wo mu aba na say schools no nyina aba wo mu ye warm up nkra no betumrika no bia boni trice youth kama ana ja wo mu ye warm up bojama fa chiri kakra say da ba nuama enso betima ko ye dia momenti ye nko kakra bi na fa yenti nuama eno nso ekoso baba Iraq Sports na no mo a wo mo ebenya more points and afin krom bobo mo wodi nyina no ye ba be yi wo mo e de a kire na Africana for ehun said ye modemo ACT e de man krai na said ye ka hooliganism e wo ye kan say inter school si mu okes so wo mo headmaster o dem sem kakra to dwa e de one na ma say nkra no dwumade na mo be di no enye se bi a mo ba na afi ma ba be kontokwa said ye si ye e wo any football na ko say ye bu be any idea or say to headmaster no if any Mr. Bismarck Fodjo wakasa e de afa violence and kodai edu baby ano mo ye e wo stadium e kofa ensemble so bia mra non comporting ho ye bitie kakra headmaster Erituda
stadium encourage the spectators, especially my student. When I say my student, I'm not referring to only Osechichi Senior High School, but then all other students who will get the opportunity to be at the Barbara Sports Stadium to comport themselves very well. There's no need fighting against each other, throwing water at each other, causing mayhem at the stadium, but rather they should be well composed, concentrate on the competition that is going on, support their athletes. When there's a need for them to throw yogurt at them when they win their race, then they can do that. But then throwing water at each other or whatever is a thing of the past. So I'll urge them to support their team onto victory rather than
the headmaster and commode abanese utia tieni pa mo amu no eni mo amuti eni esremo mumfa eni die enye adwuma ne kama na bibia enko yemre ni tie de besi ne mom Accra Academy nso on say referee Daniel Aye FIFA referee eja okobo modern wa Afcon yiji ni din na on say 20 years ago omo nso eko Accra Academy na oka ho ne wakwaku piem ewo ho na a huge honor and omode ama referee Daniel Aye ewo Accra Academy omo campus one say referee no obobra pade asa im say omo enso agene yo ewo ho a che say enya asem geto Accra nti FIFA referee Daniel Lai ana Osheno Elho Chesen Cray and Sudin Anima Nejuma Pa wabo ene said what day school din akwachi nene wasabi pim honomaja womu anana omede banana fi cadet omu ehwese nuama ebeko yedi ama referee running ti yemfezi na beda form rem na nyame adoma china de bebo abo no bia no yasan ere abesom Ghana for ene ano pay fans.
Yeah. Interesting stories. Baby, I me Zito na so officially introduced to Ashanti Gold. You see, it is always good to have the experience and play. Coaches beyond the ability. Me, I don't think the fact that Obi a football manager and straight away he's destined to win laurels. Obi the talent identification. Obi the development. Obi the say or not the to quality man obeji. But Oshe Ashanti Region Premier League clubs na Akatupe, Nations FC and Aba was show a strong fight say or colleague in more peso BB. We had Kim Pfizer, but how the model of Kim Pfizer and how inconsistent they were. Na BBH say Omunyo club ometima sustaining almost status in the Premier League and Omoko. Now Oshe zone are keenly contested. There's been a lot of push for Dwarfs this season. Oshe Central Regional. I say all of a sudden massive support about. So I said Dwarfs as back into the league. And a place a big stadium of such nature na Premier League football ni hodie surprisingly omoni Emina Shas in so call almost all the time. We call a season and then the following season we so to us. Media particularly, we heard how enthusiastic they are about football. Anytime Sharks or Dwarfs or Bobona, that's a sort of vibe and carpets or no league, you know. But Obuasenso your community are contributing immensely to Ghana football. So the issues that happen for that Ash Gold team and anymore econo way a different one, but the same sort of life and Omode Ba Obuase. So Zito going in to help. Say coaches na together with them metima a Premier League status no. I am all for it. I think it's about a very critical moment. Oya points gap na omotaro ho we kwa we na akoye different now we are climbing up now we so about second position, so they are interchanging positions but you need that figure a bit more stamping the officials seal and say this is how it is. We are gaining promotion. I feel 3 weeks ago, a month ago now Ash Gold points gap no was so until say omotre fie ne soccer intellectuals or so a ball draw and a man Dwarfs and so it take up the top spots, you know. And yeah, maybe I wish him very well, most especially where the fact said numbers now in Ashanti region our form. It is a sign another team account nanka by 3 because you have be honor there are a lot of class. Became Become Chelsea, young apostles who Winchi Ediana or 4 before Chronicle relegation.
So
yes, also so no numbers no was true. So anya as good unkwako me has a be nyina so whatever measures I also be putting up bet me inspire players and say fighting for what is at stake. Maybe 2 teams in the I'm for it. Dwarfs. I had no per class no more history no. So more league in more.
So be our idea.
Me clubs and into I got the Ghana League dead and they so call United ball Ghana League nibi. No bow koa. Oh yeah they are. The massive following the history no Abesa revive it.
I think most of now more traditional clubs now more division league no more coin. They be more matches so be more traditional venues. Yeah. For example, so Call United ball the games or dance so man
carried off.
What I say?
Yeah.
Call dance so man. Liberty na see a dinner sesamo.
Yeah.
I call United or Modico Votano. So Osho Moma come back now. There are few of them that still no stick to Omo roots. For example, Swedro All Blacks. Shekomo fast stick to Omo community no. Come back to the Premier League. Do have some maintaining Robert Mensah. Yeah. And that's ball Robert Mensah. So imagine if you go back there for a league.
Me share 11 wise ne Hazakis. It's gotten to a point that Dean Bibia was here maintaining, but in here will be also the club and man say investor or befa club. Nani roots in the senior Mezaya can they maintain it. Yeah, call all blast. Me who be that all the venues we've been this season. Me who gamer Kotoko eba warm up no na venue no stands in na bibia so that game. Before players in the fit dressing room, no, I see herself more back for warm up. Stands now or for popular stand, baby, I occupied. And to just imagine, say, dwarfs, it's me in your may, Ashanti good yen in your may. No, sa promotion back to the league. They will reconnect with the people are winning at because of club and all. Because Division 1, a year na a year but. And trim vibe nessa. Just imagine on a weekend or boise. Ya call wash matches. I didn't send all this.
This is so crowded. Your coin organs over less than 30 minutes.
Over. So what I say. So Coach Karim Zito, yeah, wishing the very best. Near say Ashanti region, Subeti another team. Abeka Nations FC, Asante Kotoko. Because region we know na football no the love no it was through but. Empty kakra. Imagine so for I bet the travel time of Kotoko any other clubs, but the neighbor call Hohoi, overcall Baseke, overcall Tamale.
Maybe I could be a sinipan and so
on to be back. If you say Unya, Megaze, yeah, side
things in the doors from Wahana, to say be a Diana FC El Doma, saying now can maybe a Chelsea will Brukum, a fee or Babichim,
overcall a young apostle and so teachment yakwa and my atumti
Baby Drew Obana Baby Drew BBS Go Stars and so bad
also it is say nonka Go Stars ben Kumasi when your nations when your Bechim so be Kumasi when your Ashanti Gold so abeka on that you see you are saving a lot but media the history
about our group now more consider music and
first no Anna Park Academy
Kifeza media na bia ownership no na because Kifeza anya club was a core relegation because the history of Ghana Premier League no anya izo
almost baby how
Bakana we chira hayo
I call Simpson video
enye I've been here before.
Wow.
Yeah, you enjoy being at this venue.
Telephone so you green.
Oh yeah, we omunya promotion obe here na say ombe here Sido
promotion Mike so akavalue pa Sido
but so onya promotion am you sure say bia club license and for na on your back.
I think the last time I call Cape no opportunity call stadium or yeah, the restaurant is operating fully. People are going there despite matches Ukraine you know. I'm a call new stadium no musi but clinic BBI active. Just by say pitch na kasana was here and our students no crowd school say yeah, imagine Kotoko has a bad town. Yeah.
If dwarfs as good or qualify the dwarf qualify no use Cape Coast Stadium still with the right PR Ejumano, people will still troop to watch them in the league, especially
na say dwarfs say okase bi o use sustain obezu okay
now they look
yes
okay so
coverage
o register ABR to stadium B
to say Dreams FC if omo game near be telecast here omo ba UG Stadium no more be ball but yen yidi omo ball truba
and to those with me use to still do because they can't depass still do more traditional you get it into
Kotoko bi na eba no mo hwe na attendance no be pagya because Kotoko ba see the CCA ya edom be bu afa so but one Cape Coast omuntua enhwe match so nti said Dwarfs Castle oyi ne matches na dia call Cape Coast stadium be ha but omuntua enhwe match me am call for yentia so nti Sildo no they can manage it but Kotoko has be ba na mu adua no ma pagya de ko no I think say no bebu and
market day
Stanley facing Afezi running Okochi Dwarfs CCA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, former Premier League Stanley Afezi. On the coach of Ebusuya Dwarfs. So I like it when almost started so almost so carve a path for themselves. And exactly. Ushe Juma or anyway, yeah, it's positive. And in commerce voting, it falls in line. We hear a greater regional representation in your league for economic and even for sporting reasons. Here, Eboa say there were a lot of clubs in Ashanti region, Eboya League Nibia. What it means is that Kotokoye exposed to a lot of talent. There is little in terms of what Kotoko can do in terms of talent projection and exposure. But there were 4 Premier League clubs in Great Ashanti regional. What it means is that talent, ebe scattered around into the anka Kotoko to me man 2 years so the year observation no oko ash go no kobo no peja Kotoko anyone so betimi akwa fan the number you get the point enti sa expose me cooking face me kobo na me bia Kotoko ni you get the picture be koye Kotoko ne nkuana a lot of these talents will have to move outside no akoba be ne ho and then to an extent so it is in our own greater interest you bring a lot of these clubs from the region or mobile league nibi again aside the talent projection and the observatory period say be expose there is also another aspect of this whole conversation yenya emrebia Ayana play be obey unity be or a local boy or unity be or a local boy, unity be or a local boy. And they went through Ubisafin Poman somewhere. They will tell you they went through a certain process and a phase of Femu. So when Frimpong Mansomo set a record, him said the best defensive record in terms of league, Ewo Ghana, Ekoro 7 league goals in the season, no concede. Yes. And it was doing Frimpong Mansomo time. They considered 7. How's a consider saying? 7. How's how many goals from a consider season? 7. In Tian Famboso. Young family no muscle. Has bet me crabs at me the season.
Oh, what's on with me?
Okay. So before some bedroom or baby or yes, our record no. They had gone through a certain phase. Our clubs within, not afar. Within. Na ne onya afar for ne kakra de frafra. Even opokunti before so koye takwa polo. No free ade koy. So you need that. Economic reasons na Steve Omaye no. If I have to play 18 league matches away, na emu 4, emu 5, emu 6 fear
true. Yeah, true.
Kin first our league ni mo bebo baba yara. Ana meboa.
Good.
Nations FC ufa brankese ye kwan o man ye
ahaya ye kakra bi na nya
e kwan no
wotisi atonsu kwan so ani kwan so di 10 minutes
debi
akoroko kobo boy bi a oko Nations motorcade edie no Nations eba baba yara kin fights akọ motorcade ash go the druk man say oko Nations motorcade
nti atika so the man you are able to
say from you are Abuakwano common crown so na kwan nye
onya tre no and you are able to save money with this Abua ombe how nyoma be simple amount and that is something that we need to advocate for and pempe who can din komo say so your agenda and Kumasi journalist na sabio you said the I still na mobu baby you said the put on here there no exactly. If I am in Kumasi and a lot of clubs will emerge from Ashanti region or Kumasi to play in the league, it is to my own benefit. On the side. So I need to advocate for where I am based. Sabi me free Kumasi na me nkoye campaign in famo obi o one chain. Meaning so they make out here. So there should be that advocacy. Say Ash Gold never. It is not wrong for the media to start an agenda to propagate the young farmer Ash Gold. And we are journalists in a catch also we agenda journalists. I remember how agenda it is the fulcrum or the backbone of every discussion that we have. Journalists be or we as be a fitri ebesidia obi agenda. In command yedini agenda, we set an agenda.
Committee na
I mean, so yakasa your agenda journalists are emanating how. What I would love is that one, Yebenya a lot of teams from this region playing at the top level, a Boama football development. In Kwadano mbe free Milo games are piano. Se teams in the doors were hano mo ba omo maifie sikano munya omo de kohe. So let's advocate for some of these things. M1 ba ya kanesano. E was a clubs ni so any bere. No mo yo munyo maye. Osoro boade oboane ho. Sabe me timi metena ankasa. Na wo so wonye onyoma ntoto mpapa so. E ba samfa so obi anim sa ne de anka me de support ne be ko eyi ogwa. Na be de akoma eyi abonto a. You get it? Se wonye onyoma yi a me peja support ne de akwa abonto a. Because almost you nipa to say any a. But priority is given to proximity. The obey wonu anu pushi. But wanye ni ya no asweche ko. Yes, no blind loyalty. The fact that you know baby fakun does not mean so wanye ni ya na chinchine time now debi the oye ni ye no afru duapan ni piano no so etimi edru baby obedru enkodani games na super zonas na start.
Yes.
So manka so matete de ekoko okoso a me sure so omo ba stadium nneno. Let me first start by applauding organizers. I think this time around security measures, any approach, it has been enhanced, and it is to curb any likely incident of violence happening into the schools and sports colleges federation. My idea. Then in Kodana Nkasa Subion Yachin Kodao Agri Memorial. They are on the lookout for Enkodano Moko Bro, a year of Brachre boy. Fantastic. Fantastic.
See, I didn't know I'm saying. And then,
wow, by me, Oberboa was still on Metro. A lot of them, almost a set, multicolored, a year outfit, or money name. Oh, dear, yeah. And no, oh, my meat if ye bomb pie.
We see him too full.
I say,
we in two.
Okay, in Yanis, Yacho. Yacho, so the aye,
to be any baby. We are said the day do be for about one bomb pies over to us, so. Yeah, to my annoy, to my late and after you about to us. So I gain oh, one of my gain be the papa in your man now. Overcome head why idea so I was some never ye in 2-4 well it's Semens and Kasa my voice in the among fancham Semens vital help Mr. again any doc now be very fine there
Yanko Padmo yeah
okay also formation here 4-4-2 now say me am why say me beto